Well, just a year ago, around the same time, something spectacular happened on the final day. And it was the Janakpur Bulls who prevailed in what was a historic win for them. Yeah, I remember I was in comms during that time calling this final run as well, and it was euphoria, ecstasy as the Janakpur Bulls just erupted into joy. Look at them, great visuals, and it just turned out to be so brilliantly executed by the Bulls. Everything that they did it right. They say when you're playing the big games, Fazal, you got to get your basics right, and they did that. They lost to the Surat Pashchim Royals in the league stages. So they were coming on the back of 2 to 3 losses, and they only had this one opportunity, and they beat them in the big final.
They've got the sweet revenge that we talk about, isn't it? Let's take a look at the conference there. The Sudur Pashchim Royals, 184 for 969 for Saif. Kishore 3 for 25 in that big final. Mohsin 3 for 40 for him. Really set up that chase, did Milanta. 87 of 49. And Asif, the marquee player for the Janakpur Bulls, 33 of those, 30 in the end, undefeated for Harsh, taking them to that most famous win in the Nepal Premier League Season 1, winning by 5 wickets. Now we are back live. They'll have to come out there and defend a relatively low total. 130 is what they have on the board, but the Gorkhas will need to come and make a first impression in those first 6 overs. They need to really make that count. Just wondering whether there could be a little bit of dew around as well. If the dew sets in, Mikhail, 130 will be really easy to chase, because once that ball gets onto the turf and collects a lot of dew, it becomes very difficult to grip.
Yeah, it does get a lot soapy as well. Once it gets heavy, the deviation and swing as well goes away. Anil Saz, very aware of what the situation presents at the moment to him and his side. Missed out with the bat today. It's his birthday, by the way. November 17th. A lovely evening. All eyes will be on the opening combination of Kathmandu Gorkhas. They've had their problems with their batting in Season 1. Something that they've really laid emphasis on is to improve upon that batting core. Ben Jalsworth, strike rate of 146, and look at those numbers, 776 in his 44 with 350. It was brilliant behind the stumps this evening. Wonderful stumping, a great catch. He gets a couple of runs. He can certainly be a contender for the MVP in this game as well. The Gorkhas put it past the Janakpur Bulls. Akash Tripathi.
Pick up a few wickets early in the piece. A slip in place. That's good thinking by the skipper. The 2 fielders out. You can see the field. There's a deep third man in place. Square leg. Oh, it's really difficult to pick up these players. Mikhail in the background, there's so much a crowd around. Just moments away from now, the run chase. Just waiting for confirmation from the umpire, Mikhail Vaswani.
And Kishore Mato joined second highest wicket taker last season, 40 wickets for him with the ball in hand. Gets an inside edge. Begins with a streaky 4. They all count. Kathmandu Gorkhas, they're away in this chase, and they register their first runs as well.
Well, a really nervous prod outside that off stump. Lucky that the inside edge didn't go on to the stumps. Just take a look at that. Just hanging his bat out there. That's always going to happen when the bat comes down in an angle. There it is, just that angle there exposes the inner edge. But runs are runs wherever they come from, and 4 of them to open the account for the Gurkhas.
Yeah, good shape on this delivery. Ideally, you want to just get a bit more closer to the bat and entice the bat into pushing forward or just hanging his bat around the ball that's leaving him. You've embraced the Nepal culture beautifully, Fazal. The Dhaka topi is sitting very pretty on you.
Well, absolutely. I mean, a lovely gift by Andrew Leonard. That's the kind of hospitality that you expect from this wonderful country. Really impressed to see this ground, lush green outfield, really good pitch. The lights have come on the first time ever that there's a day-night game being played. And this is exactly what you were talking about, Mikhail. Just come a little closer. Just take a look at that site. Beautiful ground. This wasn't there 12 months ago, I was told. So they've really worked hard, the Nepal Cricket Association. Full marks for them. There it is. That's the Dhaka topi that I was presented earlier in the evening from Andrew Leonard. Just trying to get my hands on one of those scarves as well. Stick to the tradition down the track, down the ground as well. Should get the run and stick to that. Took the chance, just not paying off for him, Mikhail.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few batters just slip around that 22 yards region, especially when they're trying to come back for that second run. We saw it earlier in the day as well, when Janakpur bowls were batting. Take a look at this. Just at the turn, when he's setting out for that run again, there. Just not being able to find the right footing over here. It can get a bit of a problem as the night progresses.
Well, I'm just wondering whether there is a little bit of dew there. Take a look at that one again and see exactly what happened there. Look at the grass on the pitch. We call the wide for sure. Just overdoing it a little is Kishore. We'll have to stick to the width of the stumps. Let's just take a look at the running again and what exactly happened there. Down the track, not getting the ball in the middle of the bat, but gets the single and right there, skidding. So what? There's a lot of grass on the pitch, Mikhail, and the adjacent strip has even more. So if your nails don't go into the ground, you're going to slip there. You have to be careful on 2 counts. One, slipping, and the other, the nail getting so stuck in the ground when they turn, their knees will be in question. They need to be careful of the knees as well. Just let's see if there's a little bit of dew around as well.
That's why sometimes as a batter, when you're setting off for that run or maybe the second run, you're just in that conundrum of a situation, whether do I run on the turf or just outside of it. Just trying to figure out if there's any amount of droplet that we can see on the surface of the grass. Yeah, fuller delivery, straight to the fielder and mid-off. Yeah, maybe a nice little swoosh across the grass will give us a fair indication of the dew factor. Up to over number 1 and 6 for overs. It's all going to boil down to the big final on the December 13th. This is how the qualifiers stack up. On the 9th of December, you have qualifier 1, then the big eliminator on the 10th of December, then qualifier 2 on the 11th. Break day will take us into the big final. Yeah, it's a month-long, almost a month-long carnival, the Festival of the Himalayas. And the captain introducing himself, realizing the spin has done the bulk of the damage. He's brought himself on.
Probably a good move this, because they'll have to make the play. They'll have to get pace off the deck. Tripathi. There it is. Just no timing. Trying to hit the ball a little too hard. No timing in that for Tripathi.
Also for some keeping in mind the dew factor comes in a little later, then gripping the ball for a spinner would be a lot more difficult. So maybe with a hard new ball you could do that much more better. That could be one of the reasons. It cut away. Short and wide, asking to be hit. And that's a very fine strike from the bat of Tripathi.
There's always going to be the risk that the off spinner will run, because he's trying to eliminate that shot over mid wicket. So overcompensating by the one outside the off stump. Just take a look at that. And that was a nice Encel Super 4. Just going on with the arm, no real turn. You don't expect the ball to turn on a pitch which has so much of grass, nice hard mound. It's the HD Ackerman there out in the middle telling us about how the pitch would play, and it's played exactly as per script. Pitch doctor, as we call him.
Nicely guided straight to short third, but we did see Shah Alam and Santosh Yadav get the ball to turn a bit, those couple of deliveries, particularly when they slowed the pace.
Good because of a little bit of moisture underneath the surface. These pitches have to last close to a month, so the curator will have that in mind. 2 done, 10 for none.
Running. Ben Charles gets off the mark, business in the middle.
Really well. The Encel Super 4. Just take a look at this. Brilliant hands through the ball. Using his hands. No feet movement. Knew exactly what he was doing. Had to get the ball up and over the man inside the ring. And yes, racing away. Now it'll be interesting to see whether they are wiping the ball. If they are, then there's dew on the ground. Probably no dew yet. That's the reason why the off spinner is bowling from the other hand. But take a look at the deviation of the pitch, and that's the result of the lights coming on. Sometimes the lights do have an effect on the way the ball behaves off the surface. All of a sudden you start seeing the ball deviating a little bit. 14 for none. They're still in the power play.
Sure, Mahato certainly want to find his form. He's been off color in the last couple of months. Edged, and that flies past slips and goes towards the third man region for another 4. So he's going hard at anything that's outside the off stump. Ben Charles, 2 boundaries and it's over for him.
He's going hard for sure. When you slash hard, they say. And a perfect example of that, the exhibition of, again, the hands going through the ball. Feet, no movement at all. Just needed to get the ball outside the inner circle, and it was 4 all the way. The third man inside the circle, there's a slip in place. So anything we fully accept.
Much better. Kishore Mahato now lives in Australia. He made his debut in Scotland in 2022. Then played under Monty Desai's coaching in the 2023 ICC Men's CWC qualifier against Ireland. He's been out of the national setup, Kishore Mahato. And he came for the Men's Tim Cup earlier this year, but only managed 3 wickets in 7. He's a very good bowler of numbers that he's got. Very fine talent. Last year he was very impressive as well. Just needs to find that form back. That's a lovely delivery. That came in sharply. Yes, no, sent back.
Well, prodigious inward movement, isn't it? Just take a look at that one again. Certainly lots happening. There it is, the rag coming out, and then oh jeez, it really came in a long way. The appeal was more in hope.